On this edition of The Rock, we take a close look at the Keep Louisville Weird movement. We learn about the Louisville Independent Business Alliance efforts to promote locally owned independent businesses and educate citizens on value of purchasing locally. We also find out about one of LIBA's oldest and most influential businesses. And we discover a new business that hopes to do its part to preserve the unique community character of the Louisville area. All this and more on this episode of The Rock. Here are your anchors, Nathan Breeding and Grant Brown.
Welcome to the fourth edition of The Rock. The Rock is a monthly news magazine that features stories based on a theme that focuses on the people, places, and events here at Trinity and in the Louisville community.
In recent years, buy local movements have been springing up all around the nation. The Keep Louisville Weird movement is one of the most successful of its kind, and serves as a model for other cities looking to promote their locally owned businesses. In today's first story, Michael Corrigan and Darren Lade shed some light on what exactly the Louisville Independent Business Alliance is all about.
Louisville is pretty strange. Take a stroll down Bardstown Road and that becomes pretty clear with all the local businesses. But there's one group, the Louisville Independent Business Alliance, that wants to keep it that way. Their mission is to get you to buy local and to keep Louisville weird.
Keep Louisville Weird is kind of the slogan that our Independent Business Alliance has adopted to describe the independent businesses in the city and to kind of create a sense of pride for the city and for the diverse number of local businesses that we have.
It started with the bookstore in Austin that saw another huge big box bookstore going in across the street, and that's how the whole thing got started, with Austin trying to keep Austin weird with their independent bookstore and starting a movement with let's go out and support these so that the big box or big national chains don't come over and run out all the mom and pop stores. Let's keep it unique, let's keep it different. If we're all coming from 4 or 5 big corporations, we're going to lose our personality.
A recent study shows that for every $100 spent at a local business, over half of that money is reinvested locally, whereas less than 15% is reinvested when the money is spent at a national chain.
When you're buying locally, your money stays in the community and you're ensuring that your neighborhood has businesses that are occupying those spaces, so that you don't end up with pockets of abandoned buildings that later become parking lots or Dollar Generals or something that takes away from what keeps our city unique.
The benefit is it stays here, it's with the people here to be reinvested back into our community.
So what could you, as a student, do to help with the Keep Louisville Weird movement?
Shop locally, show your pride for the city.
We're a huge city of entrepreneurs that I think people don't know about as much. So I think as students, you shop as well as going possibly to a local store rather than getting it on Amazon.com.
If you would like to learn more about the Louisville Independent Business Alliance and Keep Louisville Weird, log on to keeplouisvilleweird.com. For TTV, I'm Michael Corrigan.
Thanks, Michael and Darren. In today's second story, we take a look at Heine Brothers Coffee, one of the oldest and most successful members of LIBA. Max Brown and Alex Scarf have the story.
How is Heine Brothers Coffee different from other coffee shops? Well, Heine Brothers Coffee was the first true coffee shop in Louisville, Kentucky. When we opened in October of 1994, believe it or not, there were no other coffee shops in Louisville. And I think Louisvillians were hungry for a real coffee shop experience.
Heine Brothers is more than just a good place to get coffee, though. It's also an important member of the Louisville Independent Business Alliance.
We're very proud of what we've been able to do to help get LIBA off the ground. It was difficult in the early days, but today we're well over 500 members.
Both customers and employees appreciate the environment Heine Brothers creates.
The local business, the Keep Louisville Weird movement is excellent for this community because it provides an outlet for people to shop and recirculate currency through the, just the community really.
I think it's great. I enjoy the independent businesses in Louisville. I think it's good for the local economy, and it also adds a certain type of unique flavor.
Different from other coffee shops, Heine Brothers practices a fair trade business policy and grows all of its beans in Louisville.
In the early days, we bought coffee conventionally through a broker based in New York City. But in the year 2000, we were invited to be part of a buying group where we were able to pool our buying power with other small coffee companies around the country so that we could cut the middleman out and go directly to coffee farmer groups around the world and deal with them on a fair trade basis.
Heine Brothers has been buying all of our coffee through the co-op since 1999. Once we purchase it through the co-op, it's warehoused in a facility in New Jersey. I buy it once a month, usually about 100 bags per month. Each bag weighs 150 pounds, and then we roast it in 30-pound batches.
Louisvillians are really wonderful about supporting the local business economy. I think, I'm not alone in saying that one of the things I love about living in Louisville is that we have such a vibrant local business community.
It's good. I mean, it keeps business in Louisville, helps strengthen the local economy. So I think it's important to have a strong community of businesses owned by people who live in the community.
So the Keep Louisville Weird, the Buy Local First movement has done a great job of helping customers remember that if you've got a choice, it really helps to try to remember to buy local first because, again, we just simply can't take our locally owned and operated businesses for granted.
This has been Max Brown, and you've been watching The Rock. A great afternoon, Trinity.
How much do you know about the Keep Louisville Weird campaign? Let's put your knowledge about Louisville's independent and locally owned businesses to the test through the following 5 questions. Number 1. For every $100 spent at locally owned independent businesses, how much of that money is reinvested? Is it A, 35, B, 55, C, 75, or D, 15? If you answered B, you are correct. A recent study of Louisville area businesses shows that for every $100 spent at a locally owned independent business, $55 is reinvested locally, whereas only $14 is reinvested when the same money is spent at a national chain. Number 2. How much money would be retained in the regional economy every year if a market shift of just 10% from chains to independent stores occurred? Is it A, $416 million, B, $50 million, C, $125 million, or D, $30 million? If you answered A, you were correct. According to the 2007 economic census, Jefferson County produces annually retail stores across all lines of goods of roughly 10 billion. Assuming this provides a representative sample of area independent retailers, a market shift of just 10% from chains to independents would retain an additional $416 million in the regional economy every year. Number 3. Who founded the Keep Louisville Weird campaign? Is it A, Todd Brashear, B, Michael Reedy, C, Mike Mays, or D, John Timmons? If you answered D, you are correct. John Timmons is the founder of the Keep Louisville Weird campaign and the past owner/operator of Ear Ecstasy Records. Number 4. What is the name of the month-long event that challenges Louisville residents to shop locally? Is it A, Buy Local Louisville, B, Keep LIBA Alive, C, Independence Month, or D, Keep Louisville Weird? If you answered C, you're correct. Every July, in an ongoing effort to keep Louisville Weird, the Louisville Independent Business Alliance invites the public to celebrate another Independence Month to encourage Louisvillians to support Louisville locally owned businesses. Number 5. For every $100 spent at a locally owned restaurant, how much money is reinvested locally? Is it A, $25, B, $85, C, $13, or D, $67? If you answered D, you are correct. For every $100 spent at a locally owned restaurant, $67 is reinvested locally, whereas only $30 is reinvested when the same money is spent in a national chain restaurant. That's it. Remember to do your part to keep Louisville Weird. Buy local first.
In our final story, Alex Godfrey and Coy Broderick introduce us to DeGeorge Bros Guitar Shop, a one-of-a-kind locally owned business that adds to the unique character of the Louisville music community.
The Louisville Independent Business Alliance's newest members, DeGeorge Brothers Guitar Shop, provides players with a locally owned shop to purchase guitars and other accessories.
On a rainy, windy morning, that's the day that I was born in that old chick droppers.
Trinity alums Vic and Dan DeGeorge have been playing guitar most of their lives.
I was actually, when I went to St. Margaret Mary in grade school, I took some classical guitar lessons. Ended up quitting that and started taking lessons when I was at Trinity. Actually, I was in the pep band. We were playing rock and roll in the stands. We were the old school pep band. And I was taking lessons right over at Johnny Roy's drum shop right in St. Matthews there by a guy named Bill Edwards. So I guess that got me into it.
Played in the Trinity pep band too. Played electric guitar. You remember, used to carry a 100-pound amp up into the stadium at the fairgrounds to play We Will Rock You and tunes like that. And played in bands in college, and then off and on as an adult. Always was playing in bands on the side to make a few bucks here and there. Semi-professional musician, I guess.
After many years of pursuing individual ventures, the DeGeorge Brothers returned to Louisville and opened up the DeGeorge Brothers Guitar Shop.
We opened the 29th of November. It's been good, mostly word of mouth to get the word out. We haven't had much of a marketing budget, so we're giving away a lot of free stickers, and word of mouth is getting a lot of people here. Our Facebook page is doing real well for us, and we should have a web page up soon.
Like any new business, the DeGeorge Brothers have had to face some very tough work in order to make sure the business is successful.
There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you don't think about, but we're getting through that and getting some good products in, and we're getting busier and busier every week.
In addition to the sale of guitars, amplifiers, upright basses, and accessories, the Brothers Guitar Shop offers customers a number of other services.
We also have a full repair shop. We've got a tube amp guy that's been in business for a long time. We've got another guy that just does speaker recones. He's been doing that for 40 years. We've got people that build guitars and basses. A lot of them do like our major repair work or basic setups and stuff we can take care of. But if they need anything special, we got the professionals that can do the job right.
As members of the Louisville Independent Business Alliance, the DeGeorge Brothers look to help promote local guitar makers and musicians.
We get guitars from a lot of different sources. There's a couple of basses right here made by local builder Ryan Scott. This is a little short scale fretless with some really nice woods here. That's a Cambodian rosewood on the fingerboard. Hard to get. Figured maple. And that's kind of one thing we want to do is be involved with local musicians and local guitar builders and luthiers, and kind of promote what's going on around here, because there's a lot of good music and there's a lot of good instruments being made. So we hope to bring in more and more of that, as time goes on.
More than anything, the DeGeorge Brothers appreciate the power that music can provide for both them and their customers.
The great thing about guitar is there's so many different ways you can play the same thing, and it sounds totally different depending on how you play it. So that's one of the fascinating things about the guitar. I've always found music to just be really therapeutic. Sometimes I'll just pick up a guitar and you just get lost in it.
Guitar lovers are invited to come get lost in the music at DeGeorge Brothers Guitar Shop. Help do your part to keep this store a part of Louisville's vibrant, independently owned business community.
Thanks, Alex and Coy. Well, that's it for this episode of The Rock. We hope you enjoyed today's show.
We will be back again at the end of February with another episode of The Rock. Have a great afternoon, Trinity.